Convocation is an official celebration of your accomplishments during your times at NIT Silchar. Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th Convocation of National Institute of Technology Silchar will commence very shortly. You all are requested to kindly maintain silence and decorum within the hall during the entire proceedings of the Convocation. Please keep your mobile phones switched off during the entire proceedings of the Convocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th Convocation of the Institute will commence in a short while. Taking photograph inside the Convocation Hall is strictly prohibited. Please maintain the decorum of the proceedings.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th Convocation of the Institute is about to commence. The academic procession is now entering the hall. You all are requested to please rise up and remain standing till the completion of the national song.
Hey, आ रहे, चलो आ जाओ.
Vande Mataram.
I declare the 20th Annual Convocation of NIT Silchar as open.
May I now request Dr. Tipti Goel, Dr. Tanoya Naik, and Dr. Jayashree Hajarika to felicitate the Chief Guest, the distinguished alumnus, and Chairman Senate Director with a bouquet, full-on gamusha, and an Ashok Stambha as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Good
The Chairman Senate and Director will now present the Institute memento as a token of heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the distinguished alumnus, Mr. Vikalp Sahni.
The Chairman Senate and the Director will now present the Institute memento as a token of heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the Chief Guest, Sri Professor K.K. Agarwal.
The Dean Academic, Professor A.K. Badhuya, will now present the Institute memento to Professor Shivaji Bandapadhyay, the Chairman, Senate and Director. Sri Gautam N. Mehra is a chemical engineer from Punjab University and has an MBA from University of California, Berkeley. He has total experience of more than 3 decades in the industry. Sri Gautam N. Mehra has successfully led the core business of petroleum specialties of the Sovita Oil Technologies Limited, a leading manufacturer of auto, industrial and consumer lubricants, to a new heights year after year. His entrepreneurial vision led the company to successfully explore energy sector and launch its own brand of automotive lubricants, Savol. Under his leadership and guidance, the company has grown from strength to establish itself as the market leader in the petroleum specialties segment in India. Sri Gautam N. Mehra was appointed as the Managing Director of Savita Oil Technologies Limited in 1997. He is currently the Chairman Managing Director of Savita Oil Technologies Limited, which is proud to be Asia's only carbon-positive petroleum specialty company. Sri Gautam N. Mehra is known for his visionary leadership, entrepreneurial skill, and above all, his deep-rooted love for his country. He is on the Board of Governors of IIT ISM Dhanbad. Sri Gautam N. Mehra was appointed as the Chairman of Board of Governors of NIT Silchar in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman BOG, Sri Gautam N. Mehra will now deliver his address.
Chairman of the National Accreditation Board, our chief guest today, Honorable Shri Vikalp Sahniji, the Chief Architect of the Arogya Setu app, distinguished alumnus of our institute, Professor Bandopadhyay, Director of our institute, my colleagues on the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, faculty, staff, parents, and our graduating students, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you to our 20th annual convocation. To begin with, I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to all the students graduating today. Today marks the completion of an important phase of your life and also the beginning of another exciting journey. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate the proud parents, families, as well as the faculty and administration of our institute who have supported you students during this period. Our graduating class of 2022 comprises of 662 graduating students, 334 postgraduate students who will be getting their MTech, MSc and MBA degrees, and 84 students who will be receiving their PhD degrees. You all are the first batch of students to be graduating post the COVID pandemic. All of you are graduating at a very exciting time in India's journey. Our nation completed 75 years of independence this August, and we are now poised for very rapid and exponential growth. India overtook the United Kingdom to become the 5th largest global economy this year. A recent report by the State Bank of India has predicted that India will surpass Germany by 2027 and most likely Japan by 2029 at the current rate of growth. This would mean that India would be the 3rd largest economy in the world by 2030. This rapid growth in the size of India's economy augurs well for all of us, but in particular for you, the graduating students. This accelerating economic growth and industrialization will generate huge amounts of jobs for skilled and technical manpower. However, this is not the only career choice open to our graduating students today, but even more exciting options are opening up. India has emerged as the 3rd largest ecosystem for startups globally, with over 77,000 DPIIT recognized startups in the country as of 29 August 2022. The Indian startup ecosystem has seen exponential growth in the past few years. In the period from 2015 to 2022, we have seen a 50x increase in the total funding of startups, a 9x increase in the number of investors, and a 7x increase in the number of incubators. The Indian unicorns are flourishing in the fast-paced and dynamic economy of today. These startups are not only developing innovative solutions and technologies, but are generating large-scale employment. As of 7 September 2022, India was home to 107 unicorns with a total valuation of $340.8 billion. Out of the total number of unicorns, 44 unicorns with a total valuation of $93 billion were born in 2021 alone, and 20 unicorns with a total valuation of $27 billion were born in 2022. So as is evident from the above, our graduating students today are fortunate enough to have many career options, which includes pursuing further academic studies, getting a job in industry, or joining or starting new startups that are currently flourishing in our country. Though our director in his address will provide a detailed overview of the Institute's achievements in the past year, I will just mention a few of the accomplishments that I am particularly proud of. Our institute has moved up to the 38th All India rank in the National Institutional Ranking Framework of 2022 under the engineering category, which is up from the 40th rank last year. This is a significant improvement. Our institute has also progressed to the 76th rank in the overall university category compared to the 94th rank in NIR 21. We feature amongst the top 50 research institutes of the country as per the NIR 2022 and are fourth amongst all the NITs. We have more than 55 patents granted and published in 21-22 by our faculty and students in various fields of science, engineering and management. All of you graduating today are indeed part of a privileged group of students who have the good fortune of receiving your degree from a distinguished National Institute of Technology. I am confident that with your enthusiasm, focus and dedication, all of you will have a very successful career in whichever field you choose to excel in, be it industry, academics, services, or becoming entrepreneurs. As you embark on an exciting new journey today, I would like to wish all of you good luck in all your future endeavors. Please do continue to remain in touch with your institute through the Alumni Association, and we will look forward to hearing about your accomplishments. Stay safe and God bless all of you. Jai Hind.
Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay has joined as the Director of NIT Silchar on 1st December 2017. Professor Bandyopadhyay has supervised over 14 PhD students and a total of 12 PhD scholars are currently working under his supervision. He has got 2 patents and published around 68 research articles in reputed journals and more than 350 research publications in reputed conferences, workshops or symposiums. He has also authored 2 books. He has completed 4 international research and development projects with France, Mexico, Japan as the principal investigator in the area of sentiment analysis, question answering and textual entailment. He was the chief investigator of 8 national level consortium mode projects in the areas of machine translation, English to Indian languages and Indian language to Indian languages, cross-lingual information access, development of tree bank for Indian languages, among others. Currently, he is executing 3 international projects funded by Spark MHRD with Germany, Asian DST with Indonesia and Malaysia, DST CNRS with France. This year, he has got project on Ishan, a system of bidirectional machine translation under National Language Translational Mission from Government of India. He received another project this year on capacity building for human resource development in unmanned aircraft system funded by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. He is currently the principal investigator of the Spark project on multimodal machine translation in collaboration with Professor Joseph van Genabrit of University of Saarbrücken, Germany. The Center for Natural Language Processing, a research center, has been established at NIT Silchar under his leadership. Professor Bandyopadhyay has various international research collaboration and visited several countries to deliver invited talks. He is regularly organizing the workshop series Sentiment Analysis, where AI meets psychology. He was the program chair of the 14th International Conference on Natural Language Processing and 18th International Conference on Natural Language Processing. He has started the International Conference on Big Data, Machine Learning and Applications in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at NIT Silchar in 2019 and 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director NIT Silchar, Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, will now present a report on the activities and achievements of the Institute during the year 2021-2022.
Honorable Chief Guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, Sri Gautam N. Mehra, Honorable Chairman, Board of Governors, NIT Silchar, Distinguished Alumnus, Sri Bikalp Sani, Founder Eka Khair, Co-Founder Go Ibibo, Chief Architect Arko Setu, Members of the Board of Governors, Senate, distinguished alumnus and dignitaries, faculty and staff members, members from media and press, and my beloved graduating students. I convey my warm greetings and hearty welcome you all to the auspicious occasion of the 20th Annual Convocation of National Institute of Technology, Silchar. Dear graduating class of 2022, I congratulate you for all your hard work, dedication and determination that brings you today here in this August hall where we all are celebrating your accomplishments. You all belong to a very special batch who had the experience of overcoming the tremendously challenging times posed by the pandemic over more than 2 years. I am extremely happy and astounded to see that in spite of all the challenges, you all came out as the champion who have shown extreme resilience and perseverance during the pressing time. I am extremely happy and delighted to present the Institute report on this auspicious day of 20th Convocation of the Institute. Dear all, it is my privilege to announce that NIT Silchar has secured an All India rank of 38 in National Institutional Ranking Framework 2022 under Engineering category from 40th rank in 2021. The Institute ranked 76th in the overall university category in NIRF 2022 compared to 93rd in NIRF 2021. Most importantly, we are featured among the top 50 research institutes of the country as per the NIRF 2022. NIT Silchar has been ranked in the band of 11 to 25 in the category Institute of National Importance, Central Universities and CFTIs in Auto ranking of institution for Institute on Innovation Achievements, that is ARIA 2021-2022. We are highly delighted to share that NIT Silchar has been ranked 401 to 450 in the QS Asia University Ranking 2022. We are ranked 601 to 800 globally in the overall World University Ranking 2023 by the highly reputed Times Higher Education. NIT Silchar has secured 501 to 600 rank band in engineering, 601 to 800 in physical sciences category, 251 to 300 in the Emerging Economies World University Ranking 2022 and 201 to 250 in the Times Higher Education Asia University Ranking 2022. Now, dear friends, when we take part in the ranking procedure, we not only look up the result of the rank in which we are placed, but we consider it as our SWOT analysis, It helps us to identify our strengths, locate our weaknesses, find out the opportunities and the challenges that lie ahead of us. The improvement in ranking is certainly a matter of great joy and gratification, and I must congratulate everyone of the Institute for making the things happen. I, on behalf of the Institute, convey our sincere gratitude to Ministry of Education and special thanks to Honorable Shiksha Mantri ji for reposing confidence and faith on us. With everyone's support, we have been able to achieve our mission to be among the top institutes in the country. NIT Silchar is implementing the National Education Policy 2020 that envisions an education system rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to transforming India and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. NIT Silchar develops a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental duties and constitutional values among the students, bonding with our country and a conscious awareness of your roles and responsibilities in a changing world. NIT Silchar instills among the students a deep-rooted pride in being Indian, not only in thought but also in spirit, intellect and deeds, as well as to develop knowledge, skills, values and dispositions that support responsible commitment to sustainable development and living and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. We are happy to say that NIT Silchar is implementing the Honorable Prime Minister's speech on the eve of the 75th Indian Independence Day to focus on Joy Anusandhan as a push to research and innovation sector to make Atmanirbhar Bharat. The number of research projects have been increased in the last 5 years from 10 to 119, and at this moment 81 active research projects are continuing in the institution. The number of granted patents in the last 5 years have increased from 1 to 55. Sponsored research project and development is one of the central focus areas of the institution. Currently, total 89 sponsored projects are running, amounting to more than 23.54 crores. A total of 31 sponsored projects have been completed during the reporting period, amounting to 6.8 crores. Project Ishan, among them, Project Ishan, a system for bidirectional machine translation between English and Assamese, Bodo, Manipuri, Nepali and Hindi under the National Translation Mission, is a very important in connection with implementing NEP 2020. An Indo-European project on sustainable energy system funded by DST under India-EU to establish a smart microgrid for localized energy management in the Borakai village of Assam to facilitate reliable and uninterrupted power to the residents is an important project to be mentioned. Establishment of Science and Technology and Innovation Hub in NIT Silchar for the socio-economic upliftment of SC/ST population in Assam is another important project. In 2022, we received another high-value project of rupees 1.51 crore on drones, allied unmanned aircraft system technologies like data analysis, AI, machine learning, IoT, cloud computing, etc., supported by MeitY Government of India. We have also completed the project on semiconductor manpower development project, chip to system design of value 1.33 crores. It is with great pleasure I would like to inform you that we have received DST recommendation for our project proposal for establishing NIDHI ITBI, Inclusive Technology Business Incubator, with a total project cost of rupees 3.74 crores to create an inclusive ecosystem of innovation and startup in the region. The prestigious ITBI is the first of its kind in the Northeast in the digital technology verticals that aims to bring prominent changes in the landscape of innovation and entrepreneurship in the region by catering to the young startups and ventures of the region. MOU with Amtron. During the reporting period, NIT Silchar inked MOU with Amtron, the Assam Electronic Development Corporation Limited, in the verticals of 3D printing, biomedical and healthcare, bamboo and cane development, product development. The collaboration objectives to enhance the mammoth potential of 3D printing technology and its use cases for its benefits in healthcare, biomedical sciences for Divyang and senior citizens and empower Make in India. The MOU also aims to create industry-ready skilled manpower for Industry 4.0 in the allied verticals. Center for Indian Knowledge System. I am happy to announce that NIT Silchar has taken initiative to establish a Center for Indian Knowledge System named as Aryabhattam. The objective of the center is to uphold the long tradition of India of holistic and multidisciplinary learning. National Education Policy NEP 2020. The basic theme of NEP 2020, which delves on the holistic environment development in the campus and the interdisciplinary program of study. So, we have introduced interdisciplinary PhD program for the doctors in the field of medical technology. It is the only NIT among that introduced such doctoral program for medical students or practitioners. We have also started two interdisciplinary master's program on renewable energy and artificial intelligence as a step towards implementation of National Education Policy 2020. One of the most striking features of the institute is its intense focus on research and development, and we focus research right from the undergraduate level of the students also. The institute has been able to publish 1051 scholarly publications as per Scopus repository during the reporting period. In the current year also, though there are more or less 2 months left, we have already crossed this number. I am feeling very happy to see that 9 of our faculty from various departments are featured among the top 2% scientists of the world in their respective fields published by Stanford University. I congratulate all of them for making us proud, and I firmly believe that there will be many more faculty members from the institute to be featured in various internationally acclaimed recognition. National Board of Accreditation. Among the 6 undergraduate and 15 eligible postgraduate engineering programs, 5 undergraduate and 13 of the postgraduate programs are accredited by the NBA. The accreditation process of the remaining 5 programs will be completed within the next 2 academic years. MOU and further collaborations. We have recently signed MOU with National Highway Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, NHIDCL, for sharing knowledge of innovative ideas and technologies in the field of highway engineering. We have also inked MOU with IIT Kanpur for Center for Ganga River Basin Management and Studies. We are closely working with MSME and KVIC as nodal implementation in grassroots innovation and product development as part of our MOU with them. NIT Silchar has inked MOU with Royal University of Bhutan, University of Arad, Romania, University of Illinois, USA, University of Germanet, Lyon, France, Fondation Bruno Kessler, Italy, to enhance the research quality and upgradation of knowledge of students and faculties by exchange programs. Institutions Innovation Council is constituted to establish an inclusive ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship activities in the institute. We have introduced 2 courses on innovation and IPR and entrepreneurship management and venture development for UG and the PG students to prepare our students towards entrepreneurship and innovation and enabling them to create a sustainable future of the country, which is one of the major visions of the newly framed NEP 2020. One of the major transformations that higher education should leverage is the IPR creation and technology transfer. National Innovation and Startup Policy. So, NIT Silchar is among the few institutes who have adopted the NISP 2019, and it has drafted the Institute Innovation and Startup Policy for students, faculty and the staffs. During the period 2021 to 22, a total number of 908 BTech students, 219 MTech, 70 MSc, 52 MBA and 317 PhD students were admitted. In the current convocation, we are awarding degrees to 662 regular BTech students of 2018 entry batch, 248 master's degree, MTech degree holders, 42 students with MSc degree and 44 students with the MBA degree. This year we are going to confer PhD degree to 84 students. And we have a good number of international students as well. And in this year we have received a good number, say more than 800 applications for our admission into the international students setup. It is to be mentioned that the Rexian NIT Alumni Association has started a student scholarship scheme under which so far 8 undergraduate meritorious students from economically weaker background are provided with annual tuition fees for continuing their studies in the institution. Human resource, we have a total faculty strength of 217 that includes 32 professors, 51 associate professors and 134 assistant professors and 65 non-technical staff. We have been sanctioned 5 GAN courses during this reporting period. Infrastructure, which is a prerequisite for the development of any educational institute, and the institute has initiated the construction of a girls' hostel with 150 capacity. Sustainable energy technology, we have a 1 megawatt solar power plant installed under ESCO mode, and that is providing us almost 30% of our energy requirement. And we currently we are aiming to generate 50% of our power requirement from renewable energy systems by 2030. Centers of excellence, we have introduced centers of excellence in the area of natural language processing, sustainable energy science and technology, Center for Water Resource and Engineering and Medical Imaging and Technology. Center for Water Resource, they are having a high reputation and catering various projects at the national level. The Center for Indian Knowledge System has been established with an objective to uphold the long tradition of India of holistic and multidisciplinary learning. For the batch of 2021-22, we have a placement percentage of, as of now, it has reached 93%, and followed by there are students who are going for higher studies as well. And a good number of companies also, reputed companies, they have visited during this period. Student activities of the institutes during the reporting period. So the students, faculty and the staff fraternity of the institute organized and celebrated various commemorative days, events, etc. We have celebrated the 73rd Republic Day and the 76th Independence Day with pride and honor. We organized various blood donations camps during these 2 days also. Apart from that, we also celebrated Ghar Tiranga during the 13th to the 15th August this year. Several awareness programs also have been taken up during this period. World Environment Day, as part of the Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav, we have celebrated on 5th June. Matribhasha Divas on February 21st. We celebrated the Matribhasha Divas as well as the Foundation Day of NIT Silchar. We participated in the Northeast Green Summit 2021, which was held in this auditorium, where we had the presence of honorable ministers from the government of India. Athleton 2022, the 5th annual sports day on the 20th February 2022 have been organized, and we wish that this program will continue in future also. International Day of Yoga 2022, so that we celebrated on 21st of June with the theme of Yoga for Humanity. Other programs like Under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, we organized Food Festival, which is a signature event we initiated at NIT Silchar. As part of Swachhata Pakhwara 2022, we also celebrated that, and where a cleanliness and a flogging drive was also organized in the hostels. National Science Day 2022, we organized on 28 February 2022. The inaugural ceremony was held in the Bharat Ratna Bhupen Hazarika Auditorium of NIT Silchar in a hybrid mode. Dr. Subhash Sarkar, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Education, Government of India, has graced the occasion through his virtual presence as chief guest. Rashtriya Ekta Divas, we organized Run for Unity on 31st of October and spread the message of universal brotherhood and harmony. We celebrated Posua, Ugari, Rongali Bihu, Poila Boishakh, Pana Sankranti, Boishakhi, and highlighting the traditional culture as well as the church recently. International Women Day, we celebrate each year 8 March by organizing a cricket match between the girl students and the lady faculty and the staff members. This we have initiated at NIT Silchar among all the institutions, and I wish that in future also on the 8th March this program will also go on. We have celebrated the Vigilance Awareness Week. We are in fact celebrating it by organizing integrity pledge and other programs. Then as part of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, NIT Silchar has adopted 5 villages, namely Madhutila, Babutila, Phokirtila, Barakhai and Ghungur. And we also participated in the Fit India movement. During the reporting period, our students achieved various positions in the national events, whether it is a coding or it is a sports events. So there was success stories from many of our students. Now, we are pleased to inform you that NIT Silchar was selected as one of the host institutes of Smart India Hackathon 2022 Grand Finale of the software edition. We were the only NIT to host such prestigious event. In fact, the Toy-Cathon, that was the grand finale of Toy-Cathon, that was also organized, the online version was organized at NIT Silchar. The road ahead. The future of academic institutes is going to be driven by research, innovation, development and entrepreneurship. We at NIT Silchar focus on translational research, interdisciplinary research, collaborative research, internationalization and industry collaboration. We are targeting collaboration with various government departments to take up innovative and challenging research and development plans and to come out with innovative solutions in our pursuit to contribute to Atmanirbhar Bharat. We aim to inculcate research culture among our students through our undergraduate research council and by increasing the number of doctoral students. We are aiming for more funded research projects and patents in state-of-the-art areas by our distinguished faculty and scholars. We wish to focus on industry-institute cooperation towards improved placement opportunities in core areas and service sectors for our engineering graduates. We are experiencing transitional changes, evolutions of teaching, learning, and the potential outcomes of the technical institutes globally. The future ahead requires much more focused and intensive effort from all the stakeholders in order to bring a sustainable and bright prospect for the institute. My dearest graduating students, you are among the brightest minds of the country, and you all are holding the champion of success for tomorrow. Billion eyes are looking forward to your journey and wishing you to succeed in your endeavor. I appeal to all of you to follow the path of righteousness, honesty, and goodness in your pursuit of excellence. I am happy to see that the dream of a new India is on the wonder hands of our graduates. The journey from today onwards will be filled with ups and downs. There will be phases to cheer, followed by sorrow. But that is how human life is. I urge you all to improvise your unhappiness into a treasure of life. Be impatient to what you believe could be changed and change it for the betterment of the society. I am feeling extremely happy to believe that my graduates are made of elements and ability to withstand any situation in their lives. Turn your knowledge into wisdom, your anger into your skills, and thoughts into reality to build a great, happy nation. I congratulate you all again on this auspicious occasion and wish you all the best for your future endeavors. I take this opportunity to thank the Ministry of Education and more specifically Honorable Shiksha Mantriji for their continued support to enhance academics, research and infrastructure of the Institute and faith reposed on us. We are extremely grateful for your support in achieving a number of milestones and setting new targets for the future. I would like to conclude by thanking our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, distinguished alumnus, Sri Vikalp Sahni, Chief Architect Arako Setu, all the other dignitaries, guests, faculty members, staff, press and media, and all my dear students for being with us and sharing our pride today. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Vikalp Sahni is founder and CEO of EkaCare, a connected health tech platform solving for users and doctors. After completing his engineering from NIT Silchar, he joined IBIBO Group, where he helped building Go IBIBO and the initial foundation of StackPack PayU as a co-founder, CTO of Go IBIBO. Post Go IBIBO, Make My Trip merger, he successfully executed technology consolidation with Make My Trip, and as a part of the leadership team, led a couple of large tech and product stacks solving for the whole Go MMT group. Vikalp also volunteered and led the tech execution of the world's largest contact tracking effort, Arako Setu, which became the world's fastest growing app and received the Digital India Award from the President of India. Vikalp is technologist and developer at heart. He loves to code and build tech teams and cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vikalp Sahni, distinguished alumnus, will now deliver his convocation address.
Thank you for the kind introduction. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal sir, Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Sri Gautam N. Mehra, Chairman, Board of Governors, NIT Silchar, all my esteemed faculty members, dear all participants, guests, all the graduates, parents, and everybody present in this hall, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you for inviting me here. This is a proud as well as a nostalgic moment for me. Thank you for facilitating me with distinguished alumnus. I was part of NIT Silchar. I was sitting on that side in 2006 when the convocation happened. I passed out in 2006. And when I was sitting there is this interesting idea that came in to me that this is a very pivotal point in our lives when we graduate or when we move into a system where we are not only the beneficiary of economy, we are actually entering into a path where we will participate in the economic development of yourself, your family, your state and your country. All of this is what I have done over the last 16 years post I graduated. And today I want to just talk to you guys, talk to you all, to see what I have learned from my failures, what I have learned from the success that I had over all of these years in building technology. Let me start off with a very small introduction about me and my academics. I'm a very above average kind of a student. I mean, obviously tried my level best, but eventually got a seat in NIT Silchar as a civil engineer. And I was a passionate programmer. Before I started my NIT Silchar journey, I used to love technology. And first year into the college, I thought that I'll basically go ahead and try to change my branch. But I ended up getting failed in doing that because 8.0 CPI was what we needed to change the branch, and I ended up getting 7.96. But that didn't deter me. I continued to be a civil engineer, but started learning myself. And that gave me this very first fundamental understanding of what will help you in your journey towards making yourself. So that gave me this very first fundamental understanding of how important learning is and how I should keep learning very close to my heart whenever I take my choices going forward. There's another interesting story happened, and when I talk about this, please consider this as 4 fundamentals that work for me. And these 4 fundamentals, how I reach there is what I'll talk about in these stories. One is learning, that I just spoke about. Second is impact, which is how you impact the lives of others and yourself. Third, obviously, is finance. Everybody needs to play a part in economy. And last but not the least is empowerment. And these 4 that I can coin them as life for me has helped me in growing in my career. Let's look at another learning opportunity that I had, or another story that I had in my life. That was again another failure. And that failure was when we started IBBO. Straight out of college, I was there with IBM for 3-4 months. But after that, ended up joining IBBO, where we were planning to build search and social products. 2007, 2008, 2009, we built many products and all were unsuccessful. I remember we were in a swanky office in Bangalore, 65, 70 of us. And over a period of next 3 years, these 70 reduced to 13. And the swanky office reduced to a 2 BHK, where the AC used to drip. And that's how a journey of a startup is, where you end up seeing all kinds of facets of your professional career. Now, at that point in time, we started pivoting towards building Go IBBO, which has started showing a brilliant initial seeds of success. But I saw that my friends are leaving, the office is getting changed. We are reducing to a small number. But what was happening at that point in time, at least to my life, is I was being empowered. My leaders, the people that I've worked with, have actually given me this task to lead the entire effort of technology creation of Go IBIBO right from the ground up, innovate on top of it, learn from the market, create a nice right kind of a business model. So I was not only a technologist there, I was working on product, I was working with design, I was doing business model creation, and I was empowered. That gave me this profound idea that how important empowerment is to create right kind of a future for you and for your family and for your state and for your country. Fast forward to a very recent development that has happened in my life 2 years ago. I think COVID pandemic hit, and when pandemic hit, as I'm a developer, as we just, this was said in the introduction. I love building technology. I love building apps and products and so on and so forth. We thought how we can create an impact in this journey of COVID. So this was like 2-3 developers in my cabin at Go IBIBO. We came together and we started discussing this idea. What do we know? We know that apps can actually help in GPS tracking. We saw an advertisement in a Kerala newspaper where government has created a graph or a path of a COVID patient and asking anybody who has visited all of these areas that COVID patient has visited to come and check themselves for COVID. We figured that that's not scalable. How can we create a massive impact by leveraging technology? And that small idea eventually started from that newspaper article of Government of Karnataka, became Arogya Setu. And I'm glad and grateful to Government of India, to NIC, to all the other volunteers that have participated in building that, that we became the world's fastest growing app and the largest contact tracing app. And that, a very small volunteer effort that was all impact driven. How can I add an impact to the lives of others? Eventually gave me this deep understanding of health as a vertical. And now I am starting to build my own new startup on Eka Care, which is around health tech. So friends, going back to what I have learned in all of my career, these 3 things, which is learning, how large the impact is when I am creating, whatever I am creating, how much I am empowered to do this with the right kind of financial remuneration that is coming along with it. It cannot be the center part of what we are building or what we are creating of ourselves. It has to be the outcome. At times we start basically thinking of outcome as the most important entity and gets into this wiggle of choosing a career that is more financially oriented than a learning oriented, empowerment oriented or impact oriented. These are few of the learnings that I had with whatever I have seen in my career. For me, this framework works beautifully. Whenever I stuck with any choice, let's say a choice for you is to join a company A or a company B, or to build your own startup, or to go ahead and do a further studies. If you can create a grid of this LIFE and then start mapping all of your choices around them and take your call, at that point in time, whatever works for you, I think it has worked magically for me, and that's something that I would request you to try out. This changes from time to time, in the sense there could be a time when learning is the most important, there could be a time when empowerment is most important, there will be a time when finance is more important, but that choice has to be yours, and that choice you can create out of this small framework. With this, I would like to thank again for everyone to listening me and inviting me and giving me this honorable award. And best of luck to all of you with your career. Jai Hind.
Professor K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, is former founder, Vice Chancellor, CGS Indraprastha University, Delhi, and former Chairman, Board of Governors, MNIT Jaipur. Professor Agarwal obtained his engineering degree from Punjab University and master's degree from Kurukshetra University, securing first position in both. Later, he did his PhD in reliability evaluation and optimization, also from Kurukshetra University. In 1975, he rose to the level of professor at an age of 27 and a half years, probably the youngest person in the world to have achieved this level. After a distinguished services of 27 years at NIT Kurukshetra, Professor Agarwal was appointed as Pro-Vice Chancellor, Guru Jambheshwar University, the Technical University of Haryana, Hisar, for a period of 3 years, and then in 1998 appointed as Founder Vice Chancellor of CGS Indraprastha University, Delhi. He continued on this position up to November 2008. He has been President of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, IETE, for the period of 2002 to 2004. During this period, the institution witnessed an unprecedented growth and made a remarkable impact on the society in general and IT professionals in particular. He also served as sectional president in the Indian Science Congress Association, president of Computer Society of India for the period 2007 to 2009, and president of Southeast Asia Regional Computer Confederation for the years 2008 to 2010. He is also the academic professor of CSIR. Professor Agarwal has extensively worked in various fields of electronics and computer engineering. He has published about 400 papers in the reputed journals. He has been invited to deliver lectures in several universities in India and abroad, such as University of Berkeley, USA, University of Cincinnati, USA, Florida State University, USA, University of Birmingham, UK, Technical University of Germany, etc. Professor Agarwal did not confine his contribution to the academic field alone, and instead made a very strong impact in the industrial world as well. He delivered lectures in several industrial organizations and conducted programs for many important industrial houses such as Tata Consultancy Services, BHEL, TVS, BCM Data System, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Electronics Corporation of India, BEL, ISRO, Defense Research Labs, etc. He has been widely consulted by the industry, and most notably being his contribution towards the reliability analysis for PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. He delivered a talk on reliable automotive electronics in Ford Motors, Detroit, USA, and also conducted a full-day program for information management resources in Florida, USA. Professor Agarwal has written few books, and many of his articles have appeared in several books published by IEEE USA. A couple of years ago, he authored a book on reliability engineering, which is published by Clear Academic, Netherlands. His latest book on software engineering, published in 2001, has already seen several prints. Professor Agarwal was honored by the Reliability Society of IEEE USA for his services as guest editor for the special issue on state reliability effort on the Indian subcontinent. He was declared as the man of the decade and man of the century, and finally a man of the millennium by American Bibliographical Institute, USA. He was also awarded as Delhi Ratan by the All India Conference of Intellectuals. International Biographical Centre, England, has published his biography in the first 500 at the New Millennium in July 2000. The Broadcast Engineering Society of India honored him by conferring honorary fellowship on him in February 2001, and the Computer Society of India conferred the fellowship on him in 2003. Professor Agarwal was conferred Distinguished Fellowship in 2010 and the very first Lifetime Achievement Award in 2011 by the Institute of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, India. Computer Society of India also conferred the Lifetime Achievement Award on Professor Agarwal during 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, Sri Professor K. Agarwal, the chief guest, will now deliver his convocation address.
The Chairman Board of Governors of NIT Silchar, Shri Gautam Mehra, Director, Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, distinguished alumnus, Sahni, members of the Senate, members of the board, distinguished faculty of NIT Silchar, graduating students, their parents, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me to be here amidst all of you on the occasion of your convocation. Friends, convocation is always a landmark in the history of any institution and probably a lifetime memory for a graduate who is getting the degree at this convocation. My congratulations to all the students who will get their degrees today, who will get their medals today, and many of them have already joined the profession and very great success in their professional and personal life. Thank you very much for inviting me. Friends, as you have heard, I have served NIT Kurukshetra for academics and research for 27 years. And therefore, I always consider it my duty to be available to NIT system wherever called upon. And it's my pleasure to be here at your convocation. I was here, some of your faculty members might recall, I was here about 6 years ago on the convocation at this great institution, and I'm back here after 6 years, although I joined last year convocation online on the request of Director Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay. Friends, I would like to give a few words to the graduating students at this very important juncture in their life. Friends, you must have all heard about National Education Policy. And when you were graduating, you were in final year or third year, the implementation had already started at NIT Silchar. The points which I want to bring to you, when you get a very high CGPA, you feel very happy and rightly so. You deserve our appreciation for that. But I would like to tell you, you should not be happy because you have been able to solve some questions correctly in the examination hall. You would be happy that I have learned how to solve the problems. Because life today is not recapitulation of what you did. You just heard our distinguished alumnus. He is a distinguished alumnus in civil engineering from NIT Silchar. And whatever you have heard from him, I think it is anything except civil engineering. That's what the beauty of life is. That is the beauty of present knowledge is. You are all aware of Google. Google is a word without which I think youngsters cannot survive a few minutes. If your Gmail is off for 5 minutes, you are gone. But I am not sure how many of you know that the head of the Google, Sundar Pichai, we are proud that he is an Indian, but I am still not sure how many of you know that he is not a computer engineer. He is not even an electronics or IT or electrical engineer. He is a metallurgical engineer. And the academic distance between metallurgy and computer science is probably the largest. The point which I am trying to make is what you learn is important, but more important is how you learn it, how you grasp it, and how you gain the confidence of keeping on learning in your life. Friends, these days you must have heard a lot about multidisciplinarity, that our graduates should be multidisciplinary. I agree more than 100% on this, because this single discipline knowledge, howsoever deep it may be, it takes you away from innovation. It gives you merit. It gives you depth, but it probably takes you little away from creativity. It takes you little away from innovation. So therefore, you must have a knowledge of several peripheral subjects to be able to deliver a life. I have always given the example of Professor Jagdish Chandra Bose. He belonged to a place very near your place. I have yet to come across a person who does as fundamental research in life sciences when he discovered that the plants have life, and as fundamental research in physical sciences when he invents microwave communication. Now, to be able to do innovative work in life sciences as well as to be able to do innovative work in physical sciences is something very, very important, but very rare now. Over the period of last 50, 60 years in this country, we had built a reputation of super and super specialization. We had created persons to study all the subjects in one particular direction. Thereby, we could produce enough research papers, though not of that quality which we always wanted, but not the real application of knowledge, because the peripheral areas were not known at all. Friends, the creativity and innovation which we talk about these days very frequently demands of you lot of knowledge of subjects other than your own subject. As a matter of fact, you must have all observed during the COVID period, of the bad period of 2 years in the history of mankind, I think the worst which we had all seen in our lifetime, that COVID could not have been tackled if we would have taken it as a medical problem alone. COVID had to be taken as a social science problem. COVID had to be taken as a transportation problem. COVID had to be taken as an economic problem. COVID had to be taken as a political problem. Then only we could arrive at a solution to this. Friends, many people agree with me that discovery of vaccination has been at the highest speed ever in the history of civilization in all over the world, including in India. And therefore, our medical doctors, our medical researchers deserve all appreciation for that. But I am still sure that many of you and many of the doctors do not know how much artificial intelligence was working behind it, how much data science was working behind it, and today we have documentary proof that the drug design takes about 25% of the time than it used to take 10 years ago. Drug design takes about 20% of the cost as it used to take 7 years ago. This is because of applications of computer science in medical science. Friends, why I am trying to tell you this is, when you have graduated from this excellent institution, NITs in this country is our pride of technical education, next to IITs maybe, but I was very happy when I am looking after NIRF declaration that in the last 5 years, we have been able to have 2 NITs in the first 10 technical institutions in the country. That speaks of the growth of NITs qualitatively, and I am sure in the coming years, much more will be done. I am sure that the graduates here will contribute to the society in a much more meaningful way in the coming years and contribute to the society much more. Friends, Taking on these aspects, you must be always prepared to learn. These days you must have also heard of, everybody talks about, you must have skills. Well friends, skills today is not plumbing, skills today is not carpentry, skills today is not soldering, skills today is not electrical wiring, skills today is a very different thing. Skills, we say higher order thinking skills, we say collaborative skills, we say team working skills, we say emotional skills. Now when you have to talk about these skills, knowledge is equally important, and I am for one, have always been saying, please for God's sake, don't replace skills by knowledge or knowledge by skills. Make sure that you have the knowledge as well as the skill to apply that knowledge to real life problems. That is what we expect from you. Friends, one more thing which I would like to tell you, because you will be all occupying very responsible positions within 10 years of your life or 15 years of your life. Please encourage in society asking questions. The problem with our educational institutions by and large has been, we believe students have no right to ask questions. Only we have right to ask questions, and they should just answer them in the examination hall the way I want them to ask. Knowledge does not expand by answers, knowledge expands by questions. So therefore, you are happy to ask questions, which has not been very common in educational institutions of this country. Please encourage it amongst your peers, amongst your colleagues, amongst your subordinates, because knowledge expands by asking questions. I am remembering a case study. Nobel laureate Rabi in physics in 1943, after the Nobel Prize winning, was interviewed by press people, and they said, whom do you give credit for your Nobel Prize? He said, my mother. And the press people said, is your mother a scientist or a physicist? He says, no. He doesn't even know what science is. So then how do you give her the credit of your Nobel Prize? He says, when other children of my age used to come back from the school, their mothers and fathers would ask them, what did you learn at the school? My mother would always ask me, did you ask a good question from a teacher today? My mother will daily ask me, did you ask a good question from a teacher today? That prompted me every evening to search a good question to be asked to the teacher next day. And that habit has made me the best researcher in the world. Friends, make sure that asking questions is encouraged at all your levels. In this country, we are all proud of the best celestial song of the God, Bhagavad Gita. And I mean, it's a encyclopedia for answering almost all questions of philosophy of life. And we are all indebted to Bhagwan Krishna for all that dialogue. But I would like to ask you to go a little deeper. Had Arjuna not asked those inquisitive questions, would that knowledge would have come? The knowledge of Bhagavad Gita could come up, could flow from Bhagwan Krishna only because Arjuna, as the very intelligent pupil, could ask those questions which could bring the best in Bhagwan Krishna. So friends, you have a responsibility to take the word ahead, to take the knowledge further, and that is possible only when you become inquisitive. When I learned that at this convocation, I will also be a witness to awarding the PhD degree to many of the graduates or many of the students of NIT Silchar. PhD degree is our highest academic degree. But I don't know whether you have ever bothered, why are you not called doctorate in mathematics? Why are you not called doctorate in mechanical engineering? Why are you not called doctorate in civil engineering? You are always called doctorate in philosophy in mathematics, doctorate in philosophy in mechanical engineering, doctorate in philosophy in civil engineering. It's not without a reason, because when we wanted students to go at the research level, we wanted them to be philosophical. We wanted them to go into the logic of anything they do, ask themselves a question. Why this? Why not this? Why this? How? Why not this? How this? What can be better than this? So unless you become a philosopher in your subject, you are not deserving a PhD degree. You get a PhD degree only and only when you really become a philosopher in that subject. And if you permit me to read a few lines, it says, some philosophers believe that the function of philosophy is to analyze the foundations and presuppositions underlying other fields of study. Others that it is integrate scientific knowledge that of other disciplines to achieve some kind of consistent coherent work. Philosophy emphasizes intellectual autonomy. The very important line is philosophy emphasizes intellectual autonomy. And we have been talking about institutional autonomy, we have been talking about autonomy to the teachers, autonomy to the students, but unless all of us have that intellectual autonomy, the autonomy will stop to have an impact. So my dear friends, at this point, which is a milestone day in your life, I'll request you to take a pledge that you will continue to work for the growth of knowledge in this country for the sake of yourself, for the sake of society, for the sake of coming generations, and so on and so forth. And lastly, friends, time has come when you have to integrate left half and right half brain functioning together. Gone are the days when you could only use your left half brain and do wonderfully well in mathematics. Gone are the days also when you could use only your right half brain and become a wonderful dancer. You may not be able to earn your living. Time has come when you must learn to use both halves of your brain, and then only you will be able to really do wonders in the world. You will have to be multidisciplinary. You will have to be keeping on learning every day. The day you stop learning, it's gone. And friends, while in an educational institution, you may not have agreed, may not have learned, but please remember that failure is a step towards success. Don't be crying your failures. Don't be worried about your failures. You ask Viplav whenever he can, how many times he failed. He counts only his successes. That is the law of the world. But how many times we have to fail to reach a success that is known only to the achievers. And that also you have to keep in mind. I always remind my students, remember Thomas Edison. When one of his research scholars was very disheartened one day, he says, "Sir, we have tried 2,000 materials and we have still not been able to make an electric bulb. I am disheartened." Thomas Edison said, "You have not to dishearten. Write in a research paper that these 2,000 materials are not suitable for making an electric bulb, so that no further researcher wastes time on these 2,000 materials." So failure is a step to life. Risk-taking is a part of life with which we have to work on. And finally, friends, while they are there at your convocation, they say convocation is a final sort of lecture in a educational institution. You probably attending the last lecture in your NIT Silchar. I just like you to remember these 5 sentences. Number 1, I wish you to understand that discomfort is the price of legendary. I wish you to understand that life is short, so today is the time to do big things. I wish you to understand that success is measured neither by what we take nor by what we get, by just what we give and who we become. I wish you to understand that leadership is less about the title and the size of your position and so much more about your mindset. I wish you to have much less ego and much more humility, less being busy, more productivity, less entertainment, more education, less selfish, more selfless. Friends, I'm sure that the knowledge provided to you in this great institution will remain with you, will be useful to you at every step in life. But I will also remind you that in 1950, knowledge used to take 50 years to develop. Today, it doesn't take even 50 days to develop. With that kind of explosive rate of growth of knowledge, unless you learn to grow every day, you will be left behind. So my request and advice and suggestion to the young graduates on this convocation ceremony is, please do not stop learning even for a day. Make learning as a habit, and I wish you all the success in your life. Thank you very much for giving me.
May I now request Dean Academic to start the presentation of the undergraduate medals for the 20th convocation.
The undergraduate gold medal is awarded to the degree recipient who stands first, securing the highest cumulative grade point average among all the degree recipients of the batch receiving the Bachelor of Technology degree. I request Sri Professor K.K. Agarwal, the chief guest, to kindly present the undergraduate gold medal. For the year 2021-22, I present to you, sir, Sri Ujjal Jain from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering for the award of undergraduate gold medal. So Ujjal is not present. The undergraduate silver medal won for each of the rest of the branches of engineering are awarded to the student who ranks first, obtaining the highest cumulative grade point average in their respective discipline in Bachelor of Technology. I request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director NIT Silchar and Chairman Senate to kindly present the undergraduate silver medal. For the year 2021-22, I present to you, sir, the undergraduate silver medal winner is Suraj Singh from Civil Engineering, Ankita Kaur from Mechanical Engineering, Pritam Raj from Electrical Engineering, Vikram Kumar from Electronics and Communication Engineering, Prantik Sarkar from Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering. The postgraduate gold medal is awarded to the degree recipient who stands first, securing the highest cumulative grade point average among all the degree recipients of the batch receiving the Master of Technology degree. These year, 4 students secured highest CGPA. I request Sri Professor K.K. Agarwal, the chief guest, to kindly present the postgraduate gold medal. For the year 2021-22, I present to you, sir, Adil Nadir from Geotechnical Engineering, T. Vishnu Bodro from Reddy from Transportation Engineering, Jyotsna Rani of Communication and Signal Processing, Prerana Roy of Applied Chemistry, the postgraduate silver medal, one for each of the rest of the specialization are awarded to the students who ranks first, securing highest CGPA in their respective specialization, provided he or she secures a minimum CGPA of 9. I request Mr. Vikas Chahani, distinguished alumnus, to kindly present the postgraduate silver medals. For this year, I present to you, sir, the postgraduate silver medal winners as Chauhan Rudra Apurva Barsha, Nafisa Nadrin Chaudhary, Nafisa Nadrin Chaudhary, Structural and Engineering, Jamini Kumar Devlaskar, Water Resource Engineering, Barma Vivek from Computer Science and Engineering, Anurag Sharma Roy from Computer Control and Industrial Automation, Navendu Das, Power and Energy Engineering, Amitabh Mandal, also from Power and Energy System Engineering, Maitreyi Das from Microelectronics and VLSI Design, Naveen Bhatt, Design and Manufacturing, Pasim Jyoti Nath from Thermal Engineering, Kaibba PB Mathematics, Gitanjali from Mathematics, Noyanmani Burman, Applied Physics, Dipu Goswami, Master of Business Administration.
The Best All-Round Graduate Award is presented to the undergraduate who has shown commendable achievements in academics, research, and co-curricular activities in the institute and bring laurels to the institute. I request the Dean Academic to announce the winner of the Best All-Round Graduate Award for the year 2021-2022.
I request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director NIT Silchar and Chairman Senate, to kindly present the Best All-Round Graduate Award. For this year, I present to you, Sir, Gitakshi Teli, an undergraduate student from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, for this award.
Kali Krishna Mrinalini Devpuri Memorial Award. Sri Kali Krishna Devpuri was an eminent educationist, a teacher and a freedom fighter. He devoted his entire life for the upliftment of the northeastern part of the country through his visionary thoughts and beliefs. His wife, Srimati Mrinalini Devpuri, was a large-hearted and deeply religious woman. Ladies and gentlemen, in the loving memory of Sri Kali Krishna Devpuri and Srimati Mrinalini Devpuri, Dr. K.D. Puri, retired principal, Cotton College, Guwahati, offers Kali Krishna Mrinalini Devpuri Memorial Award for the best engineering graduate of the institute each year. The Dean Academic is requested to announce the winner of the Kali Krishna Mrinalini Devpuri Memorial Award for the year 2021-22.
I request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director NIT Silchar and Chairman Senate, to kindly present the medal. For this year, I present to you, Sir, Rahul Kumar Gupta, an undergraduate student from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, for the award of Kali Krishna Mrinalini Devpuri Memorial Award.
Sri Shashwata Purokayastho, son of Sri Niharendu Purokayastho, was a student of Electronics and Communication Engineering Department of the Institute of 2002-2006 batch. He was a very meritorious student who not only excelled in academics but also made his mark in co-curricular activities as well. He served as the General Secretary of Gymkhana, the students' union body of this institution, during 2005 and 2006. He obtained Brain Bench certificate in 2006 from Sweden. He was selected in campus recruitment in 2006 and had a very successful life till 3rd February 2009. On 3rd February 2009, Sri Shashwata Purokayastho died on a very tragic road accident in Pune. To encourage the students to participate in Gymkhana activities and in the loving memory of his son, Sri Niharendu Purokayastho bestows the award to the best Gymkhana member of the outgoing batch. The Dean Academic is requested to announce the Shashwata Purokayastho Memorial Award recipient for the year 2021-2022.
I request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director NIT Silchar and Chairman Senate, to kindly present the medal. For this year, I present to you, sir, Arindam Karboria, an undergraduate degree recipient from Civil Engineering for the award of Shastro Kapoor Kastro Memorial Award.
Shubhankar Pandit Memorial Award 2022. Late Shubhankar Pandit was a 2018 entry batch student of BTech Electrical Engineering. He passed away in 2020 when he was in his 5th semester. His father, Dr. Rajesh Pandit, bestows one gold-plated silver medal in memory of his loving son. The medal is to be awarded to the undergraduate BTech branch topper of Electrical Engineering Department during convocation every year starting in 2022. Dean Academic is requested to announce Shubhankar Pandit Memorial Award 2022 recipient for the year 2021-22.
I request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director NIT Silchar and Chairman Senate to kindly present the medal. For this year, I present to you, sir, Pritam Raj, an undergraduate degree recipient from Electrical Engineering for the award of Shubhankar Pandit Memorial Award.
Best Doctoral Award is presented to the PhD degree recipient whose doctoral work and thesis was found to be the best among all the PhD degree recipients in a given convocation. The work is judged in terms of quality, publications, patents, etc. out of the PhD work. I request the Dean, Research and Consultancy to announce the winner of the Best Doctoral Award for the year 2021 and 22.
I request Professor K.K. Agarwal, the chief guest, to kindly present the medal. For this year, I present you, sir, Abdul Latif, a PhD degree recipient from the Department of Electrical Engineering for the award of the Best Doctoral Award.
May I now request the Chairman Senate to confer the degree certificates for the year 2021-2022. The Dean, Research and Consultancy is requested to present the PhD degree recipients.
This convocation of the Institute has been called to confer the degrees upon the students who in the examinations held in the year 2021-22 have been certified to be worthy of the same. Let the candidates be now presented.
I present to you, sir, Abdul Latif and others, including those in absentia, who have been examined and found qualified for the degree of
Doctor of Philosophy in various departments in the year 2021 and 2022 and pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested on me as the chairman of the Senate of this institute, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and charge you to be worthy of the same.
Mrinal Kanti Sen, Abir Sorkar, Bindesh Nunia, Solanki Pal, Priyomnath Bhaumik, Abhijit De, Parthapratim Sarkar, Vainapalli Naveen Kumar, Suhail Ahmad Khandai, Arsad Hussain Chaudhary, Durga Mibang, Saptarsi Chakrabarti, Pantha Kanti Nath, Prasun Datta, Abdul Latif, Naladi Rambabu, Rengu Sesu Kumar, Lola Phani Raghava, Preeti Das, Onkai Rakpam Bandana Devi, Devanjali Sarkar, Jyoti Mahanta, Amit Barande, Dhruvo Jyoti Bora, Subhajit Das, Muhammad Atif Siddiqui, Ritik Ras Modugulla, Praveen Kumar Nambisan TM, Biswajit Roy, Manas Pratim Burua, Vishal Poddar, Vaishali, Sumit Kumar Mehta, Bhaskar Ranjan Tamuli, Deepak Kumar Singh, Dhrijit Kumar Deka, Jagannath Reddy, Jayanta Das, Devasis Buha Thakurata, Rajiv N, Saikat Datta, Ruby Das, Abhijit Burman, and Rajiv Dev.
Dean Academic is now requested to present all the Master of Technology, Master of Science and Master of Business Administration degree recipients.
I present to you, sir, Adil Nadir and others, including those in absentia who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Master of Technology in various engineering programs, Master of Science in various science programs, and Master of Business Administration of the Institute, and pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested on me as the chairman of the Senate, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Master of Technology in various engineering disciplines, Master of Science in various science disciplines, and Master of Business Administration, and charge you to be worthy of the same.
The head of the Department of Civil Engineering will now call all the Master of Technology degree recipients of the Geotechnical Engineering, Structural Dynamics and Earthquake Engineering, Structural Engineering, Transportation Engineering, and Water Resources Engineering to receive their degree certificates.
So for in geotechnical engineering, Tarif Hassan, Edwin Paul, Kanan P, Azhar Ali, Fatima Israr Khan, now structural dynamics and earthquake engineering, Rajkumar Shah, Shashi Kumar, Rudra Apurva Chauhan, Ashish Kumar, now structural engineering, N.N. Chaudhary, Kankana Kaushik Bora, Vyansha H, Irika Moirang Tham, T.C. Lal Ram Chuamaya. Now transportation engineering. T.V. Reddy, S. Shiva Ramakrishna, Anwe Mandal, Ajaz Alam, Daniel Dole, Pekka Rakesh. Now water resource engineering, Jamini Kumar Dev Lashkar, Bhargavi Sharma, Pradhumanna Dalai, Shoykot Das, Harshavardhan Devrani, K.T. Behra, Darshan N, Bhanlal Muhakar. Okay. Now, transportation engineering. No, sorry, over.
The head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering will now present all the Master of Technology degree recipients in Computer Science and Engineering.
Aditya Kumar Mohanty, Balakrishna Rangoi,
The head of the Department of Electrical Engineering will now call all the Master of Technology degree recipients in Control and Industrial Automation and Power and Energy Systems Engineering to receive their degree certificates.
Soham Chakravarti, Surya Prakash Bharti,
The head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering will now call all the Master of Technology degree recipients in Communication and Signal Processing Engineering and Microelectronics and VLSI Design to receive their degree certificates.
Rupankar Das, Varun Dhawan, P. Supriya Patro, Abhishek Dor, Jyotsna Rani, Masum Imran Lashkar, Anandini Datta, Chintapalli Muniratnam, Y. Grish Rampradeep, Rajesh Das, Sanjay Das, Somadrita Bhuiya, Shivam Tripathi, Maitreyi Das, Supriya Karmakar,
The head of the Department of Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering will now call all the Master of Technology degree recipients in Instrumentation Engineering to receive their degree certificates.
Shiv Shankar Sinha.
The head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering will now call all the Master of Technology degree recipients in CAD/CAM and Automation, Design and Manufacturing, Material and Manufacturing Technology and Thermal Engineering to receive their degree certificates.
Design and Manufacturing, Swarup De. Dipyendu Singha, Thermal Engineering, Oishik Dindar, Laichand Chetia, Saurabh Chatterjee, Subhra Pamani,
The head of the Department of Chemistry will now call all the Master of Science degree recipients in Applied Chemistry to receive their degree certificates.
Shobik Dev, Prerna Roy, Sodmista Maji,
The head of the Department of Physics will now call all the Master of Science degree recipients in Applied Physics to receive their degree certificates.
Nayanmani Bormon,
Roshan's wife.
The head of the Department of Mathematics will now call all the Master of Science degree recipients in mathematics.
Ishant Sharma.
The head of the Department of Management Studies will now call all the Master of Business Administration degree recipients to receive their degree certificates. Achyut Krishna Saikia. DP Bodhakur. Guddu Singh. Rajoshi Rohan Shuklabaidya. Deepu Goswami. Deepraj Pal. Vaishali Kashyap. Anandita Biswas. Ranjit Datta. Lokesh Kumar Sinha. Puranjini Shikidar. Manisha Sharaf. Tania Das. Nikita Bordoloi. Chirantani De. Akash Nath. Pushpita Datta. Parashar Dev. Ravi Kumar Diani. Arubhi Nag. Somnath Bonik. Ritij Sharma Bordoloi. Diptonil Das. Gunojit Deka, Ananya Roy, Swaroop Das,
The Dean Academic will now present the undergraduate BTech degree recipients in Civil Engineering, Computer Science and Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering.
I present to you, sir, Ujjal Joy and others, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Civil Engineering, Computer Science and Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering, and pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested on me as the chairman of the Senate, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Civil Engineering, Computer Science and Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering of the Institute, and charge you to be worthy of the same.
The head of the Department of Civil Engineering will now call all the Bachelor of Technology degree recipients to receive their degree certificates.
First, in BTech in Civil Engineering, Shonak Dasgupta, Sanjita Das, Tolmoyi Sarkar, Uddipta Borua, Richa Ajwari, Orindam Khargoria, Nishant Shekhar Medi, Banimal Talukdar, Vivek Das, Nurul Hossain, Hillol Das, S.L. Singh, Sanjay Jyoti Bora, Devanjan Das, Mosum Kumar Das, Anand Das, সঞ্জীব ঠাকুরিয়া, শুভদীপ ভট্টাচার্য, জিন্নাত আলী আহমেদ, মিদিং তামু, কাঙ্গনা শর্মা, রাহুল রাজকুমার, शैली बंसल, नितेश यादव, अनन्या सिंह, शेख हानी कमल, अभिषेक कुमार नाथ, नामन पानिरी, जी दिनेश कुमार, पुष्पश्री रॉय, शिवम कुमार, नितेश कुमार राव, नीलोत्पल साइकिया, DSS सीता महालक्ष्मी पी, संस्कृति मिश्रा, प्राची सिंह सेनगार, बिहारी बाबू, बुद्ध जयंत श्री हर्ष, DV कृष्णा, जी दुर्गा बांशी कुमार, PR मनोज कुमार रेड्डी,
The head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering will now call the Bachelor of Technology degree recipients in Computer Science and Engineering.
Manas Pratim Das, Navanita Bania, Kankan Bora, Sarango Paninath, মেকা ভেঙ্কটা আর অভিনয়, ভাস্কর জ্যোতি বরদলৈ, দেবজিৎ দাস, পৃথুই লিও ঈদ, प्रांजित गौतम, निर्मिता विश्वास, मयूर राज भारती, संदीप शाह, शुभ्रजीत दास, आदित्य गुप्ता, अभिनव रॉय, प्रकृति राय चौधरी, स्वागत शुभम भुवन, मनोबिली नाथ, ऋतु अग्रवाला, जतिष्मान बोरा, जयतीश रेड्डी ई, अलमपति हर्षा वर्धनी, आकांक्षा गोस्वामी, समीक्षा दिगंबर कुलकर्णी, वेंकटा नागा तेजा कुमार नरेला, जकारिया हुसैन तफादार, रेल्ला पी रेड्डी, लोहन कुमार देवांगन, गिरिजा प्रसन्न प्रधान, तैकीर अहमद, राहुल कुमार गुप्ता, अरविंदर सिंह, नीलम कुमार कलिता, प्रीतम दास, अभिषेक कुमार झा, कोल्ली यशवंत। थैंक यू।
The head of the Department of Electrical Engineering will now present the Bachelor of Technology degree recipients in Electrical Engineering.
प्रीतम राज, नियर ज्योति दास, शुभदीप रॉय,
R.G. Basumatari, देवप्रतिम देका, धीरू कुमार तालुकदार, शुभम राजोरिया, अंकुरजीत दास, अरिंदम दास, गुलशन कुमार, शुभंकर कुमार चौधरी, सूरज दास, निकिता सैकिया, शुभ्रजीत कुमार, सूरज कुमार, विनीत कुमार चौधरी, शिवा कानू, आकाश हजारिका, सुरजीत सुचैन, आलम विश्वनाथ, कृष्णा कुमार मीना, हिमांशु प्रजापति, वैभव पाल, सुनमुनी गोहेन, अंशुका गुप्ता, अनिंदिता तालुकदार, अयन सेन, काजी आर्या राई, बी जॉय साई कृष्णा, सौरपुरेंद्र नाथ चक्रवर्ती, राहुल नक्का, आयुष आनंद, सत्येंद्र कुमार त्रिवेदी, एमएल श्री, मनोज कुमार, एमएम चंद्रा, चेन्नपति पवन साई, निशांत घोष, कविती साई किरण, बुलबुल हुसैन, वाई साहिती,
The head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering will now call the Bachelor of Technology degree recipients in Electronics and Communication Engineering.
Shandini Barua, मोहम्मद सरवार अहमद, रोहित सूत्रधर, सौम्य सेन, ऋगुराज बड़ो, कुलदीप मिश्रा, शुभ्रज्योति नाथ, देवजीत बोरा, मंजिता बरुआ, नंदिनी अग्रवाल, अमलांज्योति बोरा, कंकना बरुआ, राहुल जैन, शुभ्र शंकर शर्मा, अमिति दिनेश, जाओ जाओ, प्रतीकृत चंद्र, निशांत शर्मा, मोनालिसा नाथ, तन्मय बरुआ, आदित्य विक्रम दास, कदरी श्रीजा, सुमित दोयमारी, नेहा दास, ऋषिराज पाल चौधरी, अर्षिता नारायण, गुलाम जोएब हसन, प्रतीक दास, दिग्गज्योति पाटगिरी, जावेद अख्तर चौधरी, देवांगन भुइया, अश्विन मेहरोत्रा, मंजिल हक, एम साई मुरारी, पी संपत कुमार, पी प्रशांत रेड्डी, एल्बिस रहमान, एस रानी बड़ो, तन्मय राय, लोकेश कुमार, सोनीगरम प्रणय, आर राजेश कुमार, गोराडा मणिकांत, ই যুবরাজ শাহী, আম্বালা শিবা তরুণ রেড্ডি, প্রজাপতি ইউসুফ, শ্রীপলি রায়, দেবরাজ পুরকাস্ত, এম সাই রায়।
The head of the Department of Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering will call the Bachelor of Technology degree recipients in Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering.
প্রান্তিক সরকার, কুমারদীপ পল, অমন দাস, বৈভব চক্রবর্তী, প্রাঞ্জল দাহাল, মেহবুব আলম লস্কর, প্রেরণা দাস, সি নাইকাস কুমার, প্রতীক শর্মা রয়, তমন্না ফারনাজ হুসেন, ফটিক বিশ্বাস, ঋতুপর্ণা রয়, অনুরাগশী কাশ্যপ, এম আরবিন্দ কুমার সিংহা, প্রিয়া পাসওয়ান।
The head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering will now call the Bachelor of Technology degree recipients in Mechanical Engineering.
অঙ্গিতা কর, ইনজামাম হোসেন মজুমদার, গীতাক্ষী তেলি, গঙ্গা বাহাদুর ছেত্রী, পূজা ছেত্রী, জ্যোতির্ময় ডেকা, রোহিত কুমার ব্রহ্মা, নীলোৎপল কাশ্যপ, ধ্রুবজ্যোতি দাস, দীপজ্যোতি ডেকা, ভি ভাসমি, ভামসি, চিরঞ্জীব সোনোয়াল, কে নব্বা, সাজিদ হক, বিকাশজ্যোতি দাস, সাহিল আহমেদ মজুমদার, মৌপ্রাণ শর্মা, প্রত্যুষ কুমার বরা, দেবেন্দ্র শামসু, কুন্দন কুমার কাশ্যপ, ভাস্কর জ্যোতি চৌধুরী, অবিনাশ মেদি, অমন কুমার, অভিজিৎ নিয়োগ, জে সতীশ, টি নবীনা, কৃষ্ণ মুরারি, দেবাংশু ঝা।
The Dean Faculty Welfare is now requested to announce the Distinguished Faculty Award for the year 2021-2022.
The Distinguished Faculty Award is presented to the faculty member whose performance in terms of teaching, research and academic outreach activities in a given academic year, July to June, were found to be excellent. I request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, the director of this institute, to kindly present the Distinguished Faculty Award. For the year 2021-22, I present to you, sir, Dr. Pravina Pattanayak, Assistant Professor of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, for this award.
proceed for the pledge taking of degree recipients.
All the students are requested to rise up. The pledge is written at the back page of the booklet that is provided to you.
A graduate of the National Institute of Technology Silchar, hereby pledge that I shall always endeavor to be scrupulously honest and sincere in the discharge of my duties. I shall always endeavor to utilize my knowledge of science, technology and management for the services of the country and the glory of the institute. In all circumstances, I shall try to uphold the dignity of the individual and the integrity of the profession. Thank you.
I declare the 20th annual convocation of NIT Silchar as closed.
Now, the national anthem will be sung. You all are requested to remain standing and not to leave your place till all the members of the academic procession leaves the hall.
तव